What happens when you've conquered your home planet, built a thriving interstellar faction, and are ready to take on the galaxy, only to realize that the system is just a tiny local tutorial compared to the true horrors of the multiverse? Welcome to Defiance of the Fall 6, the sixth monumental installment in TheFirstDefier and JF Brink's colossal LitRPG cultivation epic. If books 1 through 5 were about survival, integration, and establishing Earth's place in the stars, Book 6 is about stepping into the deep end of the cosmic ocean. This audiobook is a masterclass in escalating scale, blending mind-bending multiversal lore, god-tier tactical combat, and the relentless axe-swinging badassery of Zac OZeller as he faces threats that make ancient alien empires look like children playing with sticks. The narrative drops us into the wider Ensolus Sector, where Earth is no longer the center of the universe, but a small, newly integrated backwater trying to find its footing among ancient, hyper-advanced civilizations. Zac isn't just fighting monsters anymore. He's navigating complex galactic politics, dealing with arrogant primordial heirs, and uncovering the dark, terrifying history of the system itself. The atmosphere is a brilliant mix of awe-inspiring wonder and gritty, pragmatic tension. The world-building in this installment is staggering, introducing new races, new magic systems, and new tiers of power that completely redefine what it means to be strong. The audiobook narration perfectly captures the sheer scale of this expansion, making every new planet and every new alien culture feel distinct, dangerous, and deeply immersive. At the core of the book's addictive appeal is its brilliantly crunchy progression system, and Book 6 takes it to stratospheric, almost conceptual heights. Zac's cultivation reaches a new pinnacle as he delves deeper into the synergies of his Doomsday Warrior, Cleanser, and Halgrim classes, while also unlocking terrifying new abilities tied to space and death. Watching him optimize his build, exploit the system's own logic, and push his physical and magical limits to survive encounters with beings who have lived for millennia is incredibly satisfying. The lit RPG elements are front and center, treating power not just as a number, but as a complex tactical puzzle that Zac solves with brutal efficiency. The audiobook brings the weight of his axe and the hum of his cosmic energy to life, making the combat feel incredibly impactful. But beyond the stats and the cosmic stakes, the soul of Defiance of the Fall 6 lies in its characters and the shifting dynamics of Earth's growing influence. Zac is joined by a growing cast of fiercely loyal allies, including the brilliant and deadly Ophelia, the enigmatic Iz, and the ever-present loyal Ozzy. The banter between these hardened survivors and the bewildered, arrogant aliens they encounter provides some of the best comedic relief in the genre. The audiobook narration perfectly captures the contrast between Zac's deadpan, no-nonsense attitude and the sheer, unadulterated shock of the multiversal elites when they realize this primitive human is an absolute monster in combat. As the plot accelerates towards its climax, the pacing becomes utterly breathless. The culmination of the sector's political tensions leads to a high-stakes, multi-front confrontation that tests every skill, every defensive formation, and every ounce of Zac's cunning. The combat sequences are cinematic, tactical, and incredibly hype. Zac must use his environment, his devastating axe techniques, and his newly forged alliances to outmaneuver foes who have millennia of experience. The finale is a massive, dopamine-fueled payoff that proves once and for all that Earth is not to be messed with, and Zac OZeller is a force of nature that the multiverse is only beginning to understand. Defiance of the Fall 6 is a triumph of the system apocalypse genre. It is smart, brutal, and unapologetically addictive. TheFirstDefier and JF Brink have crafted a milestone book that perfectly transitions the series from a planetary epic to a multiversal saga. Plug in your headphones, grab your heaviest weapon, and join Zac OZeller. The multiverse is vast, but Zac is ready to chop his way to the top.